Hi, ever wonder what it's like to work another profession or live in the underworld? Listen to unsuspecting riders give a 10 to 15 minute personal masterclass as I spontaneously interview them as they enter my taxi. I'm your host, Simon Rushton, and this is Taxi Chronicles. Morning. Yes, we're back with another rider, another episode. Actually, it's two riders, a lovely couple, Christy and Holly. Christy's a comedian and Holly's in the media. Is it media?
Yeah.
Media side of thing, but he's also a digital guy, so he can market himself in a very good way. So he's going to tell us about what it's like to be a comedian, how he got into the industry, and what motivates him.
Oh, hey. Hello, people. How we doing?
Okay. So what made you want to be a comedian?
Well, I've always been a funny guy, I think, or wanted to make people laugh. So started as a kid, really, just, messing around, making my parents laugh. That was like the number one, and then it just became an obsession. Decided to move to London and start up. That's pretty much it, really.
So from what age did you start officially doing stand-up?
So I officially started stand-up about 3 or 4 years ago. When I got to London, I did a writing course in London at the NFTS, which is the National Film and Television School. I did like a year-long writing course there, where I would travel from Wakefield up north, where I'm from, and there was loads of comedians on that, and they were like, if you want to start doing comedy, you've got to be in London. So I moved down here, haven't looked back, got a job doing digital marketing, which was good, but was working in coffee shops and restaurants a lot before that, just trying to get by. Before the pandemic, I was gigging four times a week, and now it's been a bit of a dry period, to say the least.
Okay. So, what would you say you've learned over the years of being a comedian that you wish you knew when you started?
To not take the work you do so seriously. I think when you're a comedian, you have to get used to people not liking what you do. Generally, when you're a comedian, if you do like a 5-minute bit, the only way that you're ever going to know if that's garbage or anything good is by going and doing it in front of people. So if you've written this 5 minutes that's you think is great, and then you get on stage and no one laughs, if you then go, oh well, I'm terrible at comedy, I'm never doing this again, you're never going to get anywhere.
Yeah.
So you've got to just take everything you do with a pinch of salt and just keep working on it. Don't take your work too seriously, I think. Get used to getting pushed back, really.
So you have good days and bad days.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, especially when you're starting out. Like if you're a young comedian, you're starting out, you are gonna die a lot, Yeah, you just have to. You have to get used to being on stage for 5 minutes and no one laughing.
Is there a point where you would say to somebody, listen, you need to at least get 30 or 50% laughs out of every time you do it? You can't just, if you're just going up there and it's just not crushing, if you're not that funny.
Yeah.
After a week or so, you may need to review what you're doing, or is this industry for you? Or is it just, you just push on regardless?
Well, it depends, because if I see someone and if they're doing a 10-minute set and 2 minutes of it is, hilarious, and the rest is not so good, then there's definitely something there. If someone comes out and they're just not funny, they can't tell a joke, there's no kind of process there, then
it's a craft, though, isn't it?
Exactly.
So I don't think there's anyone that can't do it, but some people pick it up more naturally than others. It's something you can actually learn.
Oh,
You
Yeah.
can learn how to craft a joke.
Yeah.
So you develop the skills that you can
Yeah.
develop. Okay, that's interesting.
I think so.
100%. And like when you go out, it can even get, because usually you're just like, is this funny? So you'll go out and you'll do it, and it might be like 2-minute little set that you do, and it kills. But then you always think of ways to like improve it, and then that's when you start learning the craft. And it's like, well, what if I say this line later, or leave a bigger pause here? Like that's how like kind of technical you can get, I guess. But sorry, go on.
Who's your idol as a comedian? Who's the person you look up to?
Oh man, there's a lot.
Right. Let's do it this way. Who was your idol as a child when you first thought about being a comedian, and who's your idol now?
Okay, I'd
That's
say
a good question.
that is a good question. So my idol as a child was Jim Carrey, 100%. He's the reason that I wanted to be funny.
He's always happy, isn't he?
Oh man, I mean, just his characters, like it made me laugh so much.
The cable guy.
Oh,
That made me laugh, man. That made me The cable guy,
man, that's one of my favourite films, man. That is one of my favourite films, literally.
And he goes up to the guy in jail, innit? And he goes, when he picks his nipple up.
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah.
Stay.
But like the way he like moved and the way he did like physical comedy, like that was just so hilarious to me. So I'd like copy all of that stuff.
But talking about that, he also did that. What's that one where he's in the boat at the end, and he's like he grows up from a child, but his life is a TV show.
Oh, the Truman Show.
Yes. Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
That's great.
It wasn't a funny thing, but
Oh, but
that
great.
was good. I was like, you see, I'm a passionate person, man.
Yeah, I mean,
I was shouting at the screen. I was like in the bar from the guy at the end.
yeah. You there go Truman.
Yeah. So who's your guy now?
I guess the person that I think is like most closely I kind of like, I want to say steal from, but person who I like,
Who you'd like to be.
who I'd like to be is probably like Bo Burnham. Bo Burnham is he's like a American comedian, does like mainly musical comedy.
Okay.
But he, like his recent Netflix special, it was ages ago. I think it was 2017 or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a while back.
It was a while back, but it's just so good. He's the best in my eyes.
I've followed Bill Burr. You heard of Bill Burr?
Bill Burr, yeah?
Yeah, I like him because he talks about relationship issues.
Oh yeah. He's just like one of the classic stand-ups, He's incredible. Have you heard his bit about Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah.
And
Very
how-
true. I think it's very true. He crushes everything.
It's so funny. Yeah.
But it's that third eye that someone spoke about. There's a guy, Steve Harvey, I don't know if you know him, he talks about that third eye as a comedian. But I think probably my favourite comedian is Chappelle.
Oh my God.
Because Chappelle talks about politics, but he's able to get the point across.
He's the best in the world.
He is, 100%.
We had tickets to see him last year and we couldn't go. We were so gutted.
Oh. And the tickets were expensive as well.
Yeah, we had to sell them.
His live shows as well are supposed to be. Some people say that he sometimes goes on stage for like 3 hours just rambling, and not in an incoherent way. Just like he'll just be trying stuff out and just be hilarious for like 3 hours, just talking.
Yeah.
I even saw his. He's had 2 recent bits as well that have been on YouTube. I think they were just on YouTube. They were like, one was like a short thing that he brought out, which was in honor of George Floyd,
Okay.
and he was talking.
Yeah, I saw that one.
And that was really good. It was called.
Cried my eyes out.
Yeah, what was it? It was called The Time It Took, wasn't?
Yeah, there's all the.
It was like 8 minutes 37 seconds, something like that. I couldn't remember. I can't remember exactly. But he did another one recently where it was just a clip where he was talking about how Comedy Central kind of like screwed him over with the Chappelle Show.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting, which he never talks about.
And Netflix still haven't paid him for his show he's done recently, you know?
Yeah, he took, so he talks about in that special that Netflix actually decided they were going to put Chappelle's show on, and he rung them up and was like, I didn't make the money that I should on that show, and Netflix agreed to just take it down. So they were supposed to have Chappelle's show on Netflix, but because he got upset about it, which was rightfully so, they just went, okay, we won't put it out, which is good of them, really.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, if you'd asked me my top 5, he would have been close to the top, absolutely.
So what does the future hold for you in this comedian stand-up?
I mean, hopefully a job. That would be.
You look like you're getting in there.
That would be very good. I mean, like, I honestly would be happy if I could make a living out of it. That would do me just fine.
Mm-hmm.
And if I could be, idolized and loved, that would be even better.
I know. You're one of the greats.
No, I mean, everyone would love that. Do you know what I mean? But I honestly think that if I could make a job out of it, that would suit me just fine.
What would be your advice to a young up-and-coming person who just wants to get into comedy?
What my biggest advice is, right? If you want to get into comedy and if you like and ahhing about it, just book a slot. Just book a 5-minute slot somewhere, and then you have to do it. Like there's a place in Stockwell called Comedy Virgins.
Okay.
And that's the first place I did it in London. Like if you Google Comedy Virgins, you'll see.
It's at the Cavendish Arms.
At the Cavendish Arms, yeah. And I think they're still doing like online gigs and stuff. But I would definitely say wait till you can do it for real.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want someone starting out over Zoom and getting disheartened by that. But I mean, my best advice is like if you think you're funny, set a date, even if you don't have the material, because it'll just push yourself to do it.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Pull the trigger, kind of.
Yeah, because like literally, you could get on stage for 5 minutes, and if you get like 2 laughs, you'll want to do it again.
Yeah, you feel good.
Even if you die for 4 minutes, but there's 1 minute where everyone's cracking up, you'll want to do it again because like just hearing the laughs, it outweighs the pain of people not laughing by far.
Where can people find you if they want to view your comedian? Say there's some manager or someone listening, or
Well,
they want to hear where can they find you on social media?
Literally you can find me at Christy Coysh. So my name is Christy Coysh, Christy Coysh, and just at Christy Coysh on Instagram or Twitter. You can DM me if you want to chat or whatever. Yeah, but that's all my socials are at Christy Coysh.
That's great. What's the last but not least? What's the impact you want to have on the world? And this goes out to both of you, your lovely wife as well.
Man, I would just say a positive one. I think that like I heard a great quote from a comedian who someone said like, "Oh, what do you want to leave on this? What do you want to leave on this world, or what do you like? What impression do you want to make?"
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "You know what? I think people just want to laugh," and I think that's true. Like, I just want to make people laugh, and generally, if you can forget the the crap that's going on in your mind for 5 minutes and just have a good laugh, then I think that's a worthwhile pursuit, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot for that.
Mate, Simon, it's been absolutely a pleasure talking.
Much appreciated for the two of you.
Yeah.
We hope you liked that interview. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to get the latest daily episode. Ever considered investing in the continent with the fastest growing economy and population on Earth? The same continent that holds 30% of the world's known natural resources? Then listen to our sister podcast, Africa Investor Stories, where you will hear real investors with real stories from around the world share their experience of investing in Africa. We post Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m.